I'll be honest, I don't think I'm far from done. Good morning and welcome to, finally, a non-freezing cold ride and in beautiful sunny weather as well. This has been a very nice ride so far because we've already been out for about 10 miles and I've just been enjoying the scenery and the chat with the lads. Because yes, it's actually 9 degrees and gloriously sunny, which is exactly what I needed this morning because, truth be told, I'm feeling like an absolute zombie today. Because as well as having the tail end of the cold that I had last week, which is still knocking me out a little bit and ruining the sleep somewhat, the sleep has been ruined even more by the fact that this time yesterday I was in Manchester, up there watching the National Track Cycling Championships at the National Cycling Centre.
So settle in folks, sit back, enjoy this race. If you are located in the front seat around the track,
which was an absolutely cracking event, it has to be said. But the problem with that is the event finished at about 10 o'clock. By the time I got back into Manchester city centre, it was about 10:45, and then headed home, and I didn't get back until about 2:30 this morning. And obviously by the time I got everything sorted, got my bike out ready for this morning, yada yada yada, it was about 3:30 before I got into bed. And then I was up at 7 for this ride. And unfortunately it's not even as though yesterday was an easy day. We weren't just sat down the whole day because my son and I managed to do 25,000 steps around Manchester city centre, including going for an 8k run out along the canals and around the Etihad Stadium and back to our hotel. And it was perfect weather for it, but the calves, well, in fact the whole lower half of my body is paying for it this morning. My legs feel heavy and yeah, I'm struggling. The lads have dropped me quite a few times already this morning. They have been very gracious in stopping for me every little while so I can catch them up and join back in with the conversation. But yeah, largely I am not doing well today. But I'm out on 2 wheels, I'm with my mates sometimes, and I'm in this absolutely stunning scenery. So at the moment, life is good, even if my legs are not. Right, we've got a downhill coming up. Let's Tom Pidcock it and catch the lads up. I'm somehow now covered in dirt from that descent though. Ah, brilliant. I think that all came off the back wheel. Oh well, serves me right for not putting the mud guards on this morning. Right, well on top of everything else I've got going wrong today, I've now got a massive headwind while I'm going uphill. Yeah, that's not helpful. Oh, I apologise in advance. I always try to keep these rides as positive and upbeat as possible, but oh well, sometimes you just got to keep it real. Sorry guys, this one's a struggle. Yeah, coming up that hill at 4 miles an hour, that's not fun. It probably doesn't help that it's now just over 11 degrees, which is weather I normally come out in just a single short sleeve jersey. So the 4 layers I'm wearing currently of a merino base layer jersey, long sleeve jersey, and then gilet. Yeah, I think I'm overheating somewhat. Right, well I've managed to catch the fellas up again, and by saying I've managed to catch the fellas up, what I mean is they stopped for me. And despite being half done now, my mood has been lifted somewhat by the chat turning to our big annual ride later on in the year. But before that, I think it's time for a cup of tea. So let's head to the cafe and get rid of this wind.
Oh, who ordered this? Who ordered the wind? Side portion of wind, large side portion, large main meal.
Right, let's get stopped, sit down, cup of tea. Well, we're back on the move after a lovely bit of food and drink, and initially I felt a lot better, but having got straight back on the bike, yeah, the legs are feeling like lead again. And now, of course, we've got the Arkston hill climb coming up. Right, let's get up this and I'll have another chat with you. Oh boy, that's it, I'm done. That hill has done me. This was not a good idea. Definitely should have stayed in bed this morning. Questioning all my life choices up to this point, because I know that before we get home, we've still got at least 2, maybe even 3 more big climbs. I just don't think I've got the legs for them. Oh boy. So with that in mind, I'm gonna slow the pace a little bit. Not that the pace has been particularly fast all morning. I'm gonna slow it even more now while I chat to you guys about, whoa, windy. Don't let go of the handlebars when that happens. I'll talk to you guys about the big ride that we've got planned this year. Although, I say big ride, at the moment, it's just an idea, because we've got a vague date in mind, but we don't even know what we're doing yet, which is part of the problem, because, as I've mentioned before, being as we're all married fathers of young children, finding time to get away for a big ride is always a problem. But having done London to Paris over 2 days, spending 2 nights away last year, we sort of have that crowbarred into the yearly diary with our other halves. But to be fair, that was a bit of a logistical nightmare, getting all of the bikes back from Paris and then trying to get ourselves back on the Eurostar as well. So for this year, we've had a bit of a different idea. This year, we're thinking about getting the train out to somewhere with the bikes and then riding 200 miles home over the course of 2 days. Now, although that does away with the logistical nightmare of getting all the bikes back after we finish the ride, it does mean we've got a bit of a logistical challenge in getting all the bikes on a train, because there'll probably be a good 10 or 12 of us getting them on the train and heading out to wherever we're going. But I'm hoping that's only minor compared to what we had to do last year for London to Paris. So the ideas that we've got so far are either Manchester to London or Cardiff to London. Now, I know you're going to say that there is already an established Manchester to London ride, I think organised by Rafa, and that ride is easily done in a day. I say easily, it's obviously still a bit of a challenge, but it can be done in a day. But you know us guys in the Green Army Cycling Club, although we like a challenge, we also do like to take things at a party pace. So we travel up on the Friday, spend the night in Manchester on Friday evening, and then set off Saturday morning, taking in on the first day, I think, Winnett's Pass and Snakes Pass as well. So there will be a lot of elevation on the first day. And then once that's done on day 1, hopefully day 2 will be a flat-ish route and a nice one down into London. The other option, as I say, is Cardiff to London. And I have to say, I do quite like the idea of a capital to capital ride. And maybe one day we'll be able to do Edinburgh to London as well, or maybe even London, Edinburgh, London. I think we're a little way off that just yet though. But similar to Manchester with Cardiff, we'd head off on a Saturday morning, go across the River Severn and immediately head south, believe it or not, and make our way down to Cheddar Gorge, because that is a ride that I've had on my bucket list for some time. And so then once we've rode ourselves ragged up Cheddar Gorge, we point ourselves northeast, east-northeast maybe, up through the southwest of England, up to the capital. And that works out to be about 220, 230 miles as well. So again, very doable over 2 days. So they're the 2 main mooted rides so far. But another honourable mention, which was brought up just this morning, funnily enough, is Chase the Sun South, which I believe is in June time this year. 210 miles from the Isle of Sheppey in the east out to Weston-super-Mare in the west. And you have about 9 hours to complete it. As the name suggests, starting at sunrise and trying to get to the end by sunset. But what do you guys reckon? What other 200-ish mile routes could we do this year? Starting off in a big city or just somewhere random in England and riding our way back to London. Any ideas? Leave them in the comments below, because I'd love to know what rides you guys have been on that might suit the bill for our annual big ride. Right, we're only a few miles from home now, so I'm gonna have to dig in because I'm still feeling 100% ropey.
Tiredness is the equivalent of hangover, delirious.
Yeah, I think I need to get in and have a lay down. All right, mate, good one. Good riding with you. Cheers, Jimbo. Yeah, sleep deprivation is definitely not the one when you're going out on a big bike ride. And as Jimmy suggested, there was a bit of delirium in today's ride. I must admit, when I first got up this morning, I came downstairs and I was feeling a little bit dizzy and a little bit hungover, if I'm honest, even though I haven't touched alcohol for well over a year now. And as I said, there were points on that ride where I was ready to pass out. I was just about done, and the last 5 miles of it I had to sit on Mark, Zolly and Jimmy's back wheels. Yeah, that was fun as ever, but that was definitely hard going. But despite all that, I still managed to get it done. Still managed to get 50k done, so a good 32 miles, which I'm very happy with, considering I only got about 3.5 hours kip last night. But going back to the big ride this year, again, let me know if you've got any ideas of rides we can do of around 200, 250 miles that we can do from somewhere in England to London, because I definitely think that is the way to go to get ourselves around all of the logistical issues we had last year. So put them in the comments below and I will moot them to the rest of the Green Army Cycling Club guys. But other than that guys, I am going to go inside and I'm going to have another cup of tea first of all, and then after a nice long hot shower I think I might lay down for a bit. I'm sorry if this one was a little bit downbeat, but hopefully you all know how I feel. You've all been there at some point and know what this is like. But thank you very much for watching anyway, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care guys.